What is going on, NIO fam? It is Laser here with another weekend video analysis. It is noon, Saturday, right around the time when we like to actually do one of these videos and drop our analysis, our thoughts, our opinions as to where we see the stock going into next week. What a wonderful week it's been. Things are starting to explode to the upside. If you've missed my last week's video, definitely check it out. We've been talking about this for weeks and weeks and weeks about our 200-day moving average finally forming a potential higher low. You'll notice this yellow line, that's a 200-day moving average. It's finally making that higher low, and things are finally starting to go up. And the reason why that's significant is the last time we did that was last year. And that's when we saw a huge move of 115, basically over 100% rally. Can it repeat? Can it redo that? I think it has the workings. I think it looks fantastic. I think it looks amazing, and it's ready to do that. Now, some of you might be wondering, like, if you look over here into the last rally we got, which I mean, it wasn't really a rally, it was more of like a dead cat bounce. You'll notice that moved quite a bit too. That moved up about 48%. That was back in April. Now notice when it did make that move, it made it off a lower low on the 200-day moving average. It kind of almost nullified that and needed to give it some time to cool before it was ready to pop right off. Kind of in the same way, this needed time to cool before it popped right off, because this whole move, and I'm going to delete some of these arrows so you know what I'm talking about. This entire move started off a lower low in the same way. And I kept talking about the similarities between this, how similar that looked to this. And I kept telling you and I'm warning you guys, wait for that little drop, wait for that little dip. Now, I wasn't 100% certain if that was going to be it, but if you go to the 2-hour time frame, and I warned this to you guys, I'm like, usually when you see setup like this, when I see a setup looking like this, it's usually setting up for that big oomph drop, which was essentially, notice how it was curling up, and it kind of took this, it basically took out that support. That was essentially your buy. That was your time. That was your go signal. Beautiful. And it ended up tagging 338, didn't quite go lower, made a higher low, and off it went. Now, I'm bullish because the last time we had one of these moves on the higher low was last year. And you can just see the other time that we actually had a higher low. So I'll point it. This is the one time you had it. This is the first time you had the higher low. Oh, this was the first time you had a higher low on the 200-day moving average. Following that was a big move. The other time that you actually had it was back in 2023. And the end result was also an even bigger rally, 130, 140%. And if you talk about timing, it's been how long since it's gotten it? It's been 400. So there was about 400 days from this to this top, approximately 430. Now, it's not quite, but it's been basically a year since you've had that really, really big rally. It's about time. It's long overdue for that gigantic, big move, big rally. And I think it's starting. I think we're starting here, and we got to really just watch as we go. 409's a big level. Above that, it opens against the 550. But if we were to assume this thing is going to make another big 100% move, I think the target is to take out the previous highs here. Tag that. Just tag right over 780 and perhaps overshoot that, 850. And then we'll cross the rest of the bridges when we get there. 8-hour time frame. You're not really going to get any too much difference. So if you go with a 1 hour here, I'm trying to find something here. Oh, by the way, 2 hours, and we talked about this over and over, how incredible of using the velocity. How could we have found that bottom is by doing 2 trend lines. So we had, and I just want to reverse and go back in time a bit to illustrate the power of this. You'll notice that there was a breakout, which was on the velocity, which was that. And things started, and then you got that second trend line break, and things started to move. Now, if we go over here, it was kind of almost similar, but stretched out. I don't know if I'm doing that right. I think I am. This was your first breakout on that velocity. You could argue this was your lower high right there. There it was. That was your second trend line. Took way longer, guys. Way longer. Or at least it felt like it in relation to this one. And then it popped off. And we're basically good to go. Now, obviously, now that we're moving to the upside, right? It's upside from here on out. What are we going to be watching for? Red flags are a break of the 200-day moving average. A break of that 200-day moving average is telling you like things are starting to slow down. You're getting close to the end of that rally here. Now you'll notice you've got a lot of leg space here, a lot of room here. So I would imagine we're somewhere along this lines here. We're roughly around this stage, I think, of the run. And I think what's next is going to be something like this. But what I want to see is if it clears 409, you're going to get that next big pop into 550. Why do I think that? Well, history tells us if you were to go look to the left, let's clear up these drawings here so it's not so messy. So you guys are all following me. If you look to the left here, breaks below 409. This green line, this teal line is 409. It broke below. And as soon as it broke back up, boom, 550. Broke below, back up, boom, 550. Tapped below, 550. Now over here, it did try and break in above, but it wasn't able to hold it. And it was part of a lower high dead cat bounce. Now we're approaching that big level. Okay? So you don't want to count your eggs before they hatch. If you guys want to start celebrating and you're a bull and you want to get cocky and you want to get bullish, it's going to happen after it breaks 409 because that gives you so much more room to the upside to 550. But until that breaks, be cautious. But overall, there's a lot of room for upside. I'm only now going to start getting kind of a little bit cautious when this breaks. Now, if you want to get a notification for when that breaks, if I notice that, and I don't check it actually, I do check it every single day, but it's not like 24/7. I'm not watching it minute by minute, but it's a 2-hour candle. This thing doesn't move very frequently. If I notice this thing is breaking, you guys will all get the notification on Twitter. So be sure to be following me on Twitter. I'll be making that post out. And you could get a break, and it may not necessarily be the end, but it's something to be very cautious about because something is breaking here, actually. But right now, because our velocity is really just taking the lead here, even if you get a little bit of pullback, so long as it stays above the 200-day moving average, I'm very confident that this thing is going to move way higher. Now, for those of you that still want to get into this play or you have funds on the side and you want to kind of jump in, is it safe to start chasing this thing now? I'm a big believer that you don't want to set bad habits by chasing stocks that have already started running. Sure, it might play out this time, but you're making a bad habit. You draw out this trend line here, eventually it's going to retest it. And if this is going to be the run, even if it does this, it will bounce and you'll get a way big move. So draw out that trend line around 360, 370. Those could be potential areas of where this thing could bounce depending on how long it takes. Let's just say it goes till next Friday. It consolidates and cools off. 375. If it wants to drop really fast and run, let's say Monday, Tuesday, they want to really get people out. Maybe it would be unusual, but you could see up to 359, 360. Keep an eye out for that. If you're looking to get in, if you're already in, great. Just hang tight. And if you want me to give you the notification when I'm noticing something's kind of breaking, I'll be happy to share that with you guys. So I make these videos once per week. I don't anticipate it's going to actually break below this upcoming week. I think we're going to see some continuation similar to what we saw here. So there will be another leg higher. Patience. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to be beautiful. And the Bulls are finally going to get their win. Sorry, my nose is running. It just does that. Allergies, and there's a bunch of smoke outside. So I'm up here in Canada and we got like wildfires like everywhere. So the smoke and my nose, they don't get along. All right. Do I need to talk about anything else? Like, I don't think so. Pretty much, I'm a firm believer that we're likely to see 550 will be in the cards, but let's wait to see 409 break first. Got to be cautious, got to be patient. Nothing's ever a guarantee, but I'm the probability of this going back down to 3 and 2 is it's way lower, way lower. And the chance that we're going to see a nice big move, it's looking good. And again, I'm going to put this into perspective. The last time, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I feel like I have to, so you guys understand the significance. The last time, did I just delete that? Let's do this. I can't even. Oh, there it is. The last time we got that higher low was a year ago. A year ago. Okay. That's significant. That's not like some random like pop off. Like this could be something humongous about to be starting here. So buckle up, strap in, stick around for the ride. I think there's going to be something really exciting in store actually here for NIO. It's about time. And if you hung in all throughout this, like if you've been in NIO this whole stretch, and I know some people have been in here since this stretch. I've been following NIO since around here, which is basically 2023. And some people were expecting back when it was 9, they were expecting like 23. So a lot of people are still like hurting from buying down here. Maybe you bought here and you're hurting. I think there's going to be a big win coming soon. I'm super bullish, and I've seen nothing, absolutely nothing to kind of be worried about going into next week. Things look pretty good. And if I do something that I'm worried about, I'll definitely let you guys know. Having said that, let's peek at BABA real quick here. Is BABA the same thing? So I had some drawings drawn out from last time. I did an analysis on BABA. You take a look at BABA. It's still in the process of making a higher low. It's definitely dancing a lot more. It's interesting to see NIO kind of taking the lead this time. About damn time. But I'm still super duper bullish on BABA. It's still below the secondary trend line. So it does need a break above 110 for this thing to start taking away. I think Hang Seng Index was kind of trying to make a move. Like, what is it doing? It formed that higher. Oh my God. So if you go to the Hang Seng Index, and I was talking about this the last time. Let's see if I have the drawing out from last time. I said, when you get a breakout, it tends to consolidate before it goes boom. And I even drew that out for you. I'm like, guys, it's going to do this. It actually broke out. It actually had that breakout and the retest. That I'm confident that move is ready to go like apeshit mental, ballistic, 8% minimum upside move on the Hang Seng Index. That's going to impact BABA. That's going to carry NIO. It's going to add fuel to the fire that it's going to need to push this way higher. So I'm very bullish. And I'm not always bullish. Some of y'all who are like watching me for the first time, you're like, you're just a YouTuber just trying to pump the stock. That's not true. I take a lot of shit. And I was taking a lot of shit when I was getting bearish. And I do flip and flop from bullish to bearish because it goes through cycles of bullish and bearish cycles. And I tried to do my best to illustrate that the best I possibly can. And I can't remember if I actually talked about this, but I just want to bring you guys' attention to this because check this out. We're going to go to the 2-week candle, and I'm going to go to the peak of that last rally, which was around, what was it? It was 549, 550. The 2-week candle was 8 bars and 9 bars. You can go back, and I talked about this over and over. Almost half the downtrends reversed within 8 to 9 bars. More than 90% of the downtrends reverse within with between 7 and 9 bars on that 2-week candle, which is 3 to 4 months. It's between 3 and 4 months. That is like your average time it takes for a downtrend to kind of fully play out. Now it's starting an uptrend. It's starting a rally, and I think it just has begun. Even in this little week run, it had basically 1, 2, 3 candles on the 2-week candle where it moved higher. And if you were to call this the second 2 week candle, it's still got another 2 weeks of this thing kind of exploding to upside. This run, which is what I am comparing it more to, had 1, 2, 3, had 4 candles. That fourth candle is when you saw its biggest move. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So its biggest move might yet to come until July. So you're gonna have to hang in there. You're gonna have to be patient. But again, BABA, I'm still a big fan of BABA. It's still forming a higher low. It's got like that doji candle. It's waiting for that move. Now, if you look at BABA here, it's already did give you that one breakout. Did it give you a second breakout? If it did, it's a tremendous buy opportunity here for BABA. It did. So look at that. This is just the last shakeout. I'm so convinced the reason why this is the last shakeout right here, that's basically the bottom. You have this first trend line breaking. You have got this second. Did it break? Yep. You got that second trend line. That's the breakout, and that's a beautiful shakeout right here. This is normally what I would see is you would see it actually curl up and it would run. But when you see it give you a second breakout and then pull under, it's like the last shakeout. It's the last. You got the second breakout, and it's the first pullback after that second breakout. If you're in BABA and you love BABA, I'm so bullish on BABA. I don't even think this might even be the last shakeout. I think like it won't even go to the bottom there. I think you could even see it just maybe a little grab and off it goes. Back to 140, up to 180. Let's go. I'm bullish BABA. Hang Seng Index. And we talked about this actually. It's forming a higher low, which is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You see that? It's above the 200 meters. That is like the best buy signal that I've seen on BABA. Or so not BABA. That's the best buy signal I've seen on the Hang Seng Index since January of earlier this year. That is literally the best buy signal I've seen on the Chinese. Look, it's tried breaking above, broke under, broke above, break under, broke above, and it literally held that. Just like it did here, which was right down here. One of the best buys. A big move's coming for China. A big move's coming for China. So if you're China bull and you're holding Chinese stocks, I think there's going to be some good, juicy things coming. Now, if you look into the Dixie's interesting because it gave you that last shakeout that I talked about, about BABA, how it gave you the first trend line here, the second trend. Oh, that's the second trend line it broke out of. And it broke above the two, and it really based itself. But I think Dixie's also about to start to move higher, and it's about time. Now it is sitting at a very pivotal spot. It's not guaranteed, but I think it's due. Also, I think everything's just going to start going crazy. Everything's going to start going crazy. I want to touch up on Bitcoin because Bitcoin actually did have a huge freaking breakout, an absolutely gigantic breakout. I talked about this in some of my other videos briefly. I won't spend too much time because I know most of you guys aren't really in crypto, but it's funny because the last time Bitcoin had this really big run, which was last year, August, was also when NIO had its really big run. And I've been saying time and time again and saying like, guys, until you get this break, which has now just happened, you can't get bullish on Bitcoin. It gave you that break. It broke above the parallel channel, which is insane. This is a resistance back from COVID. It's broken above that. It opens the gates to literally 170, 160, 170. Wow. Bitcoin is going to literally blow the top right off. Another 40, 50% move to the upside. It'll easily go ballistic, I think, so long as it doesn't, this is not a fake out and it holds that level, which it's looking legit. It's looking legit, Bitcoin. And it's got all the institutional investors backing that as well. It's not just like some speculative play. You've got all the big institutions loaded up on this. So this thing's going to fly. The market's going to fly. And that's my analysis. And so like, and by the way, I don't know if this is actually, I wanted to show this actually, Mara. I was watching Mara. I did this one time. This is just a bonus thing. I just want to share this with you how, let's see if I'm doing this right. I think I'm going to do this right here. I apologize if I get it wrong. We're going to go all the way to the top because that's more fun. Notice how you had that first trend line breakout. That was your first trend line breakout. This is man, you could do this on every stock. That was your first breakout. Check this out. Second breakout. Second breakout on the trend line. It's now reclaimed long-term support. It even retested it. This is I'm not telling you to go in Mara, but even despite it moving 50%, there's potential to see it go another 100. Okay, absolutely. It might even give you that pullback along with Bitcoin as it retests. I think Bitcoin does need to come back and retest what 114. It wants to reclaim. If it can reclaim that, it's going to be fast. It's going to be explosive. Exciting times for the stock market. Meanwhile, the stock market is sitting at all-time highs. The one concerning thing is that Dixie does look like it might be ready to move. That's the second trend line break. So it'll be interesting to see how things kind of play out. As the SPYs peaked, Hang Seng Index has been kind of consolidating, and I think it's ready for that big move. You might see some diversion, some money coming out of the SPY potentially for a pullback. Hang Seng Index pushing higher, Chinese pushing higher, and Bitcoin. So that is it. That sums up my analysis, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my thoughts. If you have any questions, definitely leave it in the comment section below. Once again, I appreciate all of you guys. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, as well as subscribe. Hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend, and cheers.